Okay, so if you ever wonder what happened to the Volkswagen T2 1.9 TDI PD conversion I've done recently, there she is. Well, long story short, exhaust is full of oil. You can tell it's like dripping, loads of it, like honestly loads. Look at that, disgusting. That's moisture and oil, a load. Not even sure how I'm gonna clean this up. Dripping here, so I'm just having my tea randomly, and I'm doing behind the scenes filming because he's up to something.
Merry Christmas, motherfucker!
To the radiators off and all the stuff. Also I got easy access to the turbo, which is a good point, because once you remove the radiators, although this is packed, but easy access to everything. Turbo is filled with oil. I'll show you. I put a finger inside the turbo housing. There you go. It's dripping like a lot, or even more than a lot. Let me just clean it. So as Steve pointed out, obviously check this Scavenge pump, because sometimes they like to go. I was like, yeah, I don't, well, maybe. It's very simple way to defunction, because you see, let me just check if you see what I see. Yeah, sort of. You see, there is just 2 gears, and it's very simple way they function. So it's difficult for them to fail, but it is possible. So let's check it up. And all the wires are connected rightly. Black to black, red to red, and inlet is there, outlet is here. Then you have this plate which I just removed, which it is in this way over here, which is clearly shows you the, I don't know if you can see it, can spot it. Let me take it off so I'll show you from close up. There you go. You clearly sees the gear pump and the flow direction. Let's put it back together here. So no problems, right? But obviously I took that plate off just to make sure the gears are not broken or something snapped inside. And although my wiring is a bit dodgy, I took this wire here out, because this powers this relay, which then powers the both of the pumps, this pump and the pump for the charge cooler radiator. So you know what, let me just see where you are, and I'll show you. I don't know if you can spot it, but if I call the camera over here, I will try to give some positive to this wire. If I can find it. Hold on, I need to see what it is. It's a bit dark over here. Oh, it's gonna be there. All right, so I put the camera back there. Make sure you can see the gears. Can you see something wrong? The pump clearly works. Oh, I can't find it. Well, you've seen it already. Can't find a positive over there. It's a bit of a mess. Have you seen anything wrong? The bloody pump spins the other way around. This is mind-blowing. Everything connected correctly. Pipes, returns, feeds, wiring, labels, and everything was correct. No problems. This bloody Scavenge pump was pushing oil back to the turbo. So this poor bastard was having oil pressure from the engine and the oil pressure from the turbo, which I'm not surprised is blowing that much oil. Actually, I'm surprised he was still alive at this time. Well, to be honest, they fucked up with the pump, but it is fairly strong.
Yeah, it shows the pump's good,
yeah,
but you can't trust.
You can't trust
anyone.
the fuckers. Can't trust the fuckers. And it all it comes to this little bastard here, this one here. All you have to do is put this label upside down.
And you've ruined everyone's life.
And you can ruin everyone's life. And there you go. Now we have to clean the exhaust and all that stuff. Well, the biggest issue, my problem is that I'm not sure where that comes from. I'm only hoping that's from the exhaust. It was attached to the turbo, which was a little bit loose, and it was spraying some oil over here, which I don't really see it because it should be here as well. because my worry is that this turbo obviously was having so much pressure, it was blowing oil from the exhaust housing, but also I'm worried I was blowing oil from the compressor as well, which means it will go inside the intake. Hopefully that's not the case, because now we're paying us to clean, because that's the whole intake off. It's got a charge cooler built in, which doesn't help all the situation. This is mind blowing. Fuck's sake. I don't know. There you go. Red to red, black to black. I mean, usually this stuff I check it like 2-3 times, just 100% make sure, and make sure again, and then make sure again, and make sure everything is connected again, and shows that's not enough. Can't trust, no fucker. That's why I got trust issues.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. It's like, you know, you check your own work so many times, but you think, well, they're the experts. Surely that's all correct. You don't buy stuff. You don't buy stuff expecting to have to check if they've done their own job correct.
To do their job again, you know, it's.
But if you did that with everything, you'd be there all day. Do you imagine like every fucking wheel?
To be honest,
and everything you had to inspect internally to make sure it was okay.
To be honest, mate, you don't even think about something like this. You make sure to do your job properly, and then check it twice. That's all you have to do.
Yeah, I've used probably half a dozen of them over the years. I have never even thought about, oh, I wonder if they put that on the wrong way round. Never even thought about it, because I thought, why would you?
Yeah.
It's the most simple part of it. Clearly not.
This could cause a major issue, a major problem. Obviously, well, I don't know what to say.
It's a new one on me.
There you go. A scavenge pump that instead of scavenging oil is pushing pressure back to the turbo. This is stupid. And to be honest, I was convinced the turbo was gone 100%, because what else would you think? I will never in my life will thinking that this could be the cause of everything, and this could fail, because I made sure twice everything was connected good. I make sure the pump is working good, and we actually checked when he arrived here. I checked if the pump was firing up, it was working. It was like, yeah, pump is good, everything is connected. So if you're pissing oil from the turbo, then must be the turbo. And I was already slugging the Chinese guys for the shitty turbo, and it's not. It's actually big credit to the turbo as well, because it survived quite a lot of pressure.
Well, this is what I always say when people say, "Oh, I'm smoking, my turbo's knackered." Like we said, turbo oil seals are fucking piston rings. They are solid metal, so they don't fail. No. Nearly always, when people say, "Oh, my turbo's smoking," there's so often some other weird explanation. But I've never seen one this weird. You know what I mean? It's like,
I was even questioning my return, because it's not as big as usually.
Yeah.
But again, it's so close. It's close to the scavenge pump, and the scavenge pump is sucking it out. So whatever amount of oil goes into return, even if it's smaller, it sucks out from the well, it's supposed to.
It would if the scavenge pump weren't pushing.
But it works if the scavenge pump actually does what it's supposed to do. Well, it does, just the other way around.
But just think, right? A lot of people who wouldn't know any better would be like, "Oh, my turbo's fucked." They wouldn't even look at that, because this is what happens.
This is what I did, to be honest. I said,
but at least you checked.
Yeah.
But I mean, a lot of people, their turbo's blown. Well, they think their turbo's blown. Their turbos are smoking, so they buy a new turbo. Same again. They thought, "Oh my god, this new turbo boat's dog shit." You know what I mean? They're ripping me off. It's like, no. Almost always there's another fucking problem, because turbo oil seals are not as common to fail as the internet makes you think.
Diagnose the issue first, and this is what I failed this time, because
but with your one, you got to give yourself credit. Who the fuck would have thought of that?
No, I wouldn't. Honestly, I wouldn't.
I've used loads of these, and I wouldn't even think about, they've put the fucking label on backwards.
I won't think about anything else around, but not this. I thought about the oil pressure restrictor, which is there. Make sure everything is there. The line is brand new. The line from the scavenge pump to the block is big, is like slightly bigger than the original one. Just make sure everything is spot on as it should be. But I will never doubt, obviously, the scavenge pump pumps the oil the other way around. The different way they say, they actually put a label and everything.
I can understand if you sort of thought, oh shit, I've wired it up backwards.
Yeah, exactly.
But this is when it's
But this
all
is
correct.
not, there you go. It's wires are connected correctly as you should. I mean, and this is the outlet, that is the inlet. And that's exactly what it says on the label and everything. And fuck's sake, this is incredible.
Modified cars, never ever what you expect. And usually in a bad way.
The problem is I don't have a time to do this stuff because, well, you know, it's but obviously this is first of all is my customer, so I will never say no, I can't look at it because I've just finished it. Well, obviously not at this point. Plus he's a friend, so I will never say no. But this causes a major issues to him and to myself, and so yeah, trust no fucker.
Crazy.
No matter what.
That's one of the weirdest fails I've seen in a long time.
Yeah.
And we see things that are popped out all the time.
This is a strange one. This is not like one of them. It's not. This is.
Yeah. I've seen brand new intercoolers have holes in. I've seen all kinds of weird shit, but I've never seen just something literally labelled backwards. You just wouldn't imagine to be backwards. And because it looks the same both sides, you're not to know unless you dismantle it.
No, if I was like, you know what, let me check if it works. So I want to just remove the plate and check on the gears. If something is broken inside, if they fell off, if they snap in half, whatever. Just let me make sure. Yeah, they're good. I moved them with a screwdriver. That's fine. Let me check the motor if it works. I felt it working, but it's like I want to see it the way it works. Maybe the shaft snapped, so maybe the motor works, but the gear is not spinning the gears. So I put it on and it spins, and I was like, hold on, let me check this again because I think I've seen something wrong. And I could not believe, you hear me? I was like spinning like 3-4 times because I could not believe what I was seeing. It was like, oh shit.
Well, even when you first showed me, I was thinking to myself, hang on.
Yeah.
What? And then I twigged what the fuck is going on. Because when you first explained it, I thought, do you mean you've put the feed and return on the turbo backwards or something? Because even that, as crazy as that sounds more more likely to happen than fucking that.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
On shit like this, I don't fail. I'll never fail on shit like this because this is my rule. Check it twice. Once you check it twice, before you hang it over, check it again. You know. So I don't fail. This is my golden rule. I don't fail on shit like this. But this time I kind of did. It's like by not checking what they job.
But when you check,
this is like you should take the toolbar apart.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean.
And make sure there's bearings inside.
Yeah. It's like you don't. It's all well and good checking it twice, but you don't expect to have to dismantle it to check that they've put the arrow on the right way.
Yeah. Oh, let me check if the motor has the fucking one.
Yeah. It's like buying a brand new engine and let's check it's got some pistons in it. Do you know what I mean? It's like, no, fucking weird that is.
And obviously, I have to do the job. He would have to pay for it. And where's the fault? Whose fault is it? You know what I mean? It's shit. Now I have to remove the intake pipe, the charge pipe. I'm scared of that one as well because you see, I see a bit of oil here.
Yeah.
And that makes me worry. I was like, oh, hopefully it's from there.
No.
But it's not.
I don't believe it's going to be.
No. I was trying to lie to myself not to.
Because the thing is, the exhaust side is a piston ring.
Yeah.
There's a piston ring on the compressor side, but then the final one is a rubber seal.
Yeah.
And if it gets past piston ring, there's a rubber seal, and obviously that ain't holding shit when there's a lot of pressure. So you'll see as soon as you take the turbo.
Yeah, I'm taking this off, but I just don't want to take it off. I just don't want
what
to.
you're gonna find.
Because I know how much of a work this is gonna be, and in the position I am now, which I really don't have a time to do it, it kind of scares me.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Well, you know, like these YouTube videos where they do unboxing. You could do unboxing the oil.
You know what?
Set the camera up there.
Hold the camera, because I got no space with the camera.
I'll hold the camera. You take this apart.
Just 10 minutes. I do have to do much. Let me do 10 minutes. I'll do it with you.
I bet you on the compressor inlet side, there'd be a pool of it.
Hopefully not, but I've got a feeling that this is the case.
Honestly, the worst bit will be compressor inlet because it'll sit in the bottom.
Shit.
But,
I mean, shit.
Yeah.
Take this off. That's a 13mm, I got one as well.
And especially when this car's not been driven that hard, like as you not on boost.
No, it wasn't. It didn't.
So it hasn't had a chance to push it through. I think there's probably an inch of fucking oil in the bottom of that compressor.
My worry is that I really hope there's not much oil in there.
I know.
Because that is a charge cooler inside. You imagine how much of a pain that's going to be to clean.
Yeah.
Take it all completely off. I don't even want to think about. Oh, that's fucking difficult.
I can see the oil from here. Yeah, I can see oil seeping out of that thing already.
Oh shit.
Oh
so
my god, look.
Full.
That is, yeah.
That is full.
This ain't good. Fuck it, it's literally about to drip already. That is saying something.
Fuck's sake. You're gonna send a letter to China and say, look.
Well, technically, right? Technically, that pump, they claim it's a UK company, but they obviously get them from China and put their own fucking stickers on.
Do you know what?
But look at that.
Oh,
Look at
I'm
that.
scared to do it.
And do that as well. And just take it off in one go.
Let me take this off.
Yeah, take that off as well.
Yeah. But that's,
oh, there's a first drip. I think I just caught that on camera.
That's really dripping. That's not a good sign.
No, it's not a good sign.
Really not a good sign.
Oh no. You can measure the time it's taken, not like a sand timer, but with drips of oil.
That's a great one. Usually I got them wrong.
Yeah, I know. It's oddly satisfying when you guess correct.
Oh, fuck's sake.
This is gonna be...
I'm laughing, but this is kind of like a historical laugh.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's like you don't know whether to laugh or cry. It's funny. What's gone wrong is quite funny, but the result of trying to fix it is a fucker.
Yeah. Come on. I wish I made them shorter, those bolts. This won't come off as easy because I'm mashing it in with 2 O-rings to make sure everything is good.
That's the thing.
So you can see it drips the oil from there, but not from here.
No, exactly. But the fact that it's dripping out when it's a fairly tight hose, kind of scares me a bit. Well, makes me wonder what's coming next.
You know, let me see if can I? That's not that. There you go. Let me see if I can move this somehow.
Yeah, if you can.
No, I don't think so. Maybe.
I was gonna say you need it somewhere levering it out.
Not this way, you know. Well, I need a screwdriver, not that.
Yeah. If you had a thin screwdriver, you'd probably get it in this bottom bit. Yeah, you will. Actually, no, I can do it with my hand.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, you do the honours, but I just moved it.
Honours? No, you can do the honours in this case, to be honest. Oh, fuck. Right.
Oh, it's maybe not. Oh, whoa.
Fucking hell.
Holy shit.
Look at it, look inside there.
Here it comes.
Oh, well.
I thought it'd be worse in there, but that is bad.
That is bad. That's coming from the inlet.
It's actually pouring out the charge cooler. That's not good.
Fuck. So, everything's coming off. Charge cooler has to come off, pipes, cooling pipes, charge pipes, the whole turbo.
I don't know what we can see with this camera because
let's take this off. So, oh wow, just fucking oil dripping off.
There's a nice little pool of it there. That's the thing, right? It's where it's pooled, it's bad. The rest of it, because it's quite clean oil, is super clean and brand new. But the trouble is, it's going to pool inside that charge cooler, isn't it?
The thing is, the pipe is fairly well. No, it's not the lowest point.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's gonna have a bit in it.
Do you know what?
This is, you know, I said about this is why. I bet you. Take off the compressor inlet. I bet you it's full to probably there. Wouldn't surprise me. Oh fuck yeah, it is. Look. Look, watch.
Yeah. Oh, it is.
The turbo is literally full of oil. I thought I've seen this.
Oil pool.
Yeah, I've seen it before. It always goes to the lowest part.
Yeah.
So the turbo's I'm trying to work. It's practically higher than the. Take off the compressor and it pour it over the floor. I'm sure of it. I think it's higher.
Let me get this. Let me get the Jubilee clip off.
Yeah, if you get the Jubilee clip off.
There's a 10 mil.
Holy shit.
I'll take it off to see what happens. This is.
I think I know what's going to happen.
Well, we all know what's going to happen,
but we want to see it because this is. I'll tell you what. Hopefully you can slow mo this down and this will be a good good thumbnail.
You know what? I'm not even actually gonna call him and see what happens. Just put this video on YouTube
and say look.
And see, look, this is what happened.
This is gonna be.
You ready?
Yeah, man. I suspect this is gonna be great.
You sure you're ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right.
But even if this don't come out loads, it's gonna be underneath it because you got an inch at least.
Yes. There's gonna be more than that.
That's the thing. There's gonna be way more than anything this is in it.
Just the excess from the.
This might be fuck all in comparison. Oh, here it comes. Oh. Fucking hell. And just think, that means there's about 1.5 inches.
Yeah, till there.
Till there. Full of oil.
Fucking hell.
Holy shit.
To say that I'm not happy is the list.
Let's see.
Well, I don't even want to take it apart now completely.
Oh god.
You can see what it is. Keep coming off.
I wonder how much has gone up into the inlet pipe at reversal as well, because it's dripping out the inlet a bit, but it might not be anything much up there.
No.
I wonder if the camera can look.
Let me just
turn the.
Yeah, you can see through the camera a little. You can see it.
Yeah. It's gonna be at least 1 inch deep in there. Got fucking oil on your thing.
Even on the oils, you know, on the camera. Keep cleaning the bastard now.
All over my hands, so I can't even clean it.
This was the least expected of the fuck ups.
And it's still coming out now, like it's still not finished dripping.
Oh, this will drip all night.
But, so it's going to be literally that deep.
But what I want to do, I'm going to take one of the aluminium welding rods, filler rods, and
I'll use it as a dipstick.
Yes, I'm going to use it as a dipstick to check how much crop is inside. You know what? Let me just chop it right there, roughly. Do a little bend. Like that. I feel that, yeah. Ooh, I might get very, very lucky, you know?
You think?
Yes, because that is actually the lowest part. If you feel the rod,
yeah,
charge cooler is there, and as soon as you move it back, it drops down. There's nothing lower at this point. Look, nothing inside the charge cooler.
Oh.
This goes very incredibly lucky. Well, I wasn't thinking about this when I built it, but it turns out to be good because it looks like this is the lowest part, but the actually charge cooler floor, where, because that's thicker, is actually the same level where that pipe is. So even if it did fill up, this is the lowest part, it will drip in from there. Because when you move the rod, there's no lower part from this. and there you go. I move it inside, up and down, and there's no oil. That saves me to take the charge cooler, well, the whole plenum off, at least. Well, yeah. Can you imagine if you try to floor it? If you imagine if you try to floor it, you got the whole turbo full of oil. I would say that's what, about, I don't want to exaggerate, but quarter of a litre?
Roughly, at least, I'd say.
Between a quarter and a half a litre.
At least inch and a half or so the bottom of that turbo. It's quarter to a half a litre, considering what's in it.
There you go.
Lucky this car was never used in anger yet, you know.
Do you know what? This is actually kind of good that he didn't put on a dyno anyway, because obviously he lied to us. He could do it, he couldn't. But, and obviously you can see something's wrong because obviously oil was dripping from the exhaust. But if you didn't pay attention, try to floor it or test it.
This wouldn't have ended well on the dyno.
No, this would end up fucking ruining his own oil for a little bit, and massive compression.
Buy a new mop to clean his workshop.
Yeah, and probably collect the rods in a bucket.
I was gonna say probably hydraulic the fucking engine.
Yeah, because that will like pick up some boost, throw some oil in the combustion chambers, and way too much compression. The rods, they're probably gonna be here where the number plate is.
Because that's the thing. It's like, you know, you can burn a bit of oil, but that isn't a bit of oil you burn. That is like hydraulic in the engine. You can
clean a bit of oil that's been sitting on the intercooler. You know, kind of vaporizes with the flow. So yeah, a bit of smoke, bit of knock, all right. But this will come like all together, short way. Because look, the compressor is here. The charge pipe only is from here to there. Charge cooler is there, which is inside the plenum, and then straight to the engine. It's a very short way. So not even doing any time to vaporize it. We just go in and throw the rod. So we kind of been lucky in this unlucky situation, I would say. Oh well. Well, Nick, I'm not sure what to say. This was a lucky situation in an unlucky situation. So there you go. But that being said, the whole setup looks good. But now with a new turbo coming down anyway, and we choose to go a different turbo, different quality, because I spoke with the tuner and he will say, look, I tuned 1.9s with these turbos, and yes, you have the power you were expecting, but they're quite laggy, and for the application you want to use it, you want to use something different. I have experience with these other turbos. They virtually have no lag. They give you a little bit less top power, but you know, the power curve is completely different. I spoke with the customer, I spoke with Nick, and it makes sense to, you know, having a little bit less power on the top but have low range full of boost. So to be honest, at this point we kind of lucky this turbo was laggy, was not making any boost on low RPMs, because it would probably end up in rod out the block. So there you go. Strip it down and fix it now. Well, I will have to modify the exhaust manifold because the turbo, it was in a different position, will probably be a bit more here, so I need to change the flange, and I don't even know what else I have to do on it. I probably have to take the manifold off completely and redesign this bit to have the position, the turbo position maybe. I don't even know, I don't even want to think now, because I'm still shocked for what happened here. So yeah. Let me just hold it for a sec. Woo. Hopefully you can see it. Let's do the exhaust first. Now we do the compressor from the inlet side. I mean, this is bad. Well, at least you can't say the turbo didn't have enough lubrication. So, at least, Jesus, this really is bad. I guess I take it apart completely. Yeah, I'll leave it just like this. For the exhaust to drain, I'm gonna take the exhaust apart, just gonna clean it with the brake cleaner, take the compressor off and clean it from inside. Oh well, the thing is, let me just put the camera up. The thing is, I kind of feel that there's a part of my fault, because when Nick asked me, do you wanna take it apart, I said, look, if it's piston oil, everything works, the pump works, the drain is good, you know, and it was working fine before, so it must be a turbo. I mean, what else could be? You could never ever imagine that the pump, obviously, was assembled in the wrong way, in the opposite way that it should work. So it will never come to my head to question that. So in my head it was like, well, it is very strange, but you know, may happen. Turbo maybe is faulty. I don't think the turbo is just kill itself because of something. I thought maybe they assembled the shells in the wrong way or something. So you know, it's a faulty turbo. There you go. We have to replace it. And now, once I spoke with this guy, which seems he knows his stuff, which I very like the way he maps them and all the stuff. So it was sounding very knowledgeable on the 1.90 DIs, and people who knows him doing that job, they say yeah, he's highly recommended. He done a lot of work on these engines, he's got some proper experience on them. So I spoke with them and said, look, I did map those engines on these turbos, even the genuine BMW ones, because this is a Chinese copy, and they produce quite big power, but for what you want exactly, this is not the best choice, because it's still quite laggy. So I spoke with Nick. I said, look, as much as I want to see top power from my turbo system, because obviously that's a pride of my work, I really want you to enjoy the van as much as you can. And from my understanding, you're not looking for the top power, but drivability and enjoying driving this. And to be honest, I think it's a good decision to say, okay, instead of having 300 brake horsepower, let's go down to 260, 270, 250, whatever it's gonna be, roughly that mark, but having no lag. Virtually is like having the turbos pulling up very low down, so you have plenty of torque. You know, you in 5th gear, in 6th gear, put your foot down and go. Don't have to wait for the turbo to wake up. You don't have to change the gear. You know, it's not a race car. It's still a camper van. Yes, we did build some performance turbo system and all that stuff, but that's mainly for the reliability. A lot of people sometimes they question this, or they mistaken that a good turbo system is purely for performance. It is not. A good turbo system, a good exhaust manifold, it makes your engine exhale hot gases out as quick as possible, as clean as possible, with the less back pressure as possible, which transmits into a healthier working engine, a more efficient working engine. Obviously, because then you achieve that efficiency, your turbo spools better, spools quicker, so obviously you have more performance, but that is actually a consequence to the engine working efficiently. Same principle for the intake manifolds, for the intake plenums. if you have an equal flow planer which it distributes the flow through all the cylinders as equal as possible, your engine is gonna run smoother, better, more efficient, because you applying the same amount of air flow and pressure to each cylinder. This is a big debate because you nearly can't do it perfectly. You get as close as possible, because you know, when the flow changes with the engine speed and the boost amount and all the stuff, it changes its direction. It's very tricky, but you can get pretty close. But that again increases the engine efficiency and the way it works. It works more reliable. The internal combustion temps are lower, you know, because you replace the hot gases inside the engine much quicker with fresh air. So MPG drops down because your combustion is more efficient. And again, because you're achieving that efficiency from both sides of the engine, of the head, so intake and exhaust and the turbo, everything starts to work better, more efficient, more reliable, less heat, less stress on the internals of the engine as well. So this is, to be honest, this is my first goal, my main goal when I designed the turbo systems, to make the engine work as efficient as this is physically possible from my point of view. And then a mapper who's gonna map everything, all of this is like a tools in his hands to make the engine using all of the stuff, you know what I mean, and squeeze as much performance as you can, but only if you have the engine working efficiently. So again, the main goal over here is to get everything working efficiently, is to make everything working reliable. And performance, as much as it is important, because obviously it's fun and who doesn't want more power? Everyone wants power, but it's a secondary factor. So we kind of renounced to put this turbo on, or even a genuine BMW one from this series, to something a little bit more modern with the electronically controlled variable vane, which this mapper say can wire up in standard ECU, and we're gonna have a much better pressure control and variable vane control against a normal vacuum actuator, which I'm happy with that. Plus, he ensured me that he's got plenty of experience with the turbos we were actually going to fit in this car, and they say virtually there's no lag. They respond very, very quickly on the throttle response. Well, gas pedal, you have no throttle on the diesels, but that's why I call it, because it's generic. It's a generic term for that. So, you know, I prefer the engine to be very responsive, having much more torque, much more power from low down RPMs, mid-range, than having all the power in the world but only on the top range. So I think we made a good decision. Maybe I should have done a little bit more research before saying to Nick, look, just use this turbo. However, this was a little bit of an experiment, because unless I have my own personal experience with something, I don't actually like to advise anything, because the only information I could gather is from the forums, people who use them, you know, and the information is quite limited. I wish I had I've spoken with this tuner before, because he actually had the experience with these turbos. This mapper, not tuner, mapper, he maps them. But we know this was an experiment, and see how it goes. The good thing in a bad situation is that before we go into map the car with this guy, we're gonna have a better turbo for this application already. Now, what happened here? You can argue, say it's no one's fault, because who can imagine the pump was assembled in the wrong way? No one will ever question this. However, it is a fault of the guy who actually assembled that. But you're not gonna chase that, you know, there's not much you can do about it. So the lucky part in this stupid situation is that, you know, nothing has been broken. Luckily we didn't run this engine high revenue, bringing up some boost, because if this engine were actually chewed this oil, this could transmit in a very easy and fast disaster. like we're talking rods out the block. So I feel like we've been very lucky in this bad situation anyways, because again, it just takes us to just change the turbo for something better. Of course, I would love to have that knowledge at the time when we bought the turbo, because I would build the exhaust manifold for that turbo in the first place. Now I have to modify the exhaust manifolds, because the turbo being a different shape, it will have to probably be in a slightly different position. Hopefully not, but I'm expecting this, and I have to make a different flange, because my flange is this shape, BMW fitment, and the flange the turbo comes on is slightly different shape, so I have to cut that flange off. Means I have to take the exhaust manifold off and build it again, which is going to take me a couple of days at least, maybe 3, to do all this stuff, because then you have to do the charge pipes into the plenum from the turbo, and the downpipe have to be redesigned, you know, and all these things. But at least we're going forward. We did lost 5 weeks waiting for this old guy to actually map the car, just to find out he's not able to do it. Could say that before, you know, but sometimes you have to see the good side of the story, you know. Sometimes the bad things happen to avoid something even worse, you know. I know it's a hiccup, I know it's waiting time and all that stuff, but everything has a reason for happening, and I'm always to the positive side of the story. So yes, this is a little bit of a downside, but you know, it will end up something to be something even better. So